Hello there, amazing viewers and subscribers. Welcome to a brand new Doctor Who news type sort of video. So, over the last couple of days, we've had some big Doctor Who news, and I kind of wanted to make this video about it, but I wanted to try and get more information as possible. But to be honest with you, then every time I was trying to work out what I was going to say, another big news piece has dropped. So I'm going to talk about all of it in one big video. So, first of all, Season 1, or as I like to call it, Season 41, starring Ncuti Gatwa and Melanie Gibson, will be starting on Saturday, the 11th of May at midnight. So, it'll be dropping on BBC iPlayer at midnight, and it will be shown later on during the day. And, of course, I have seen people basically complain about it. But for me, on my one hand, I don't really mind it, because, yes, we are getting 2 episodes out of an 8 episode series. But to be honest with you, I'm not really too fussed, because I normally work Saturday mornings up to Saturday night. So instead of me having to rush home to go and come back quickly and watch the 2 episodes of Doctor Who, I can actually watch them before going to work. So I can get around about 6 o'clock and I can watch 1 episode at basically 6, 1 episode at 7, and then I can get ready for work at 8 to get to work for 9. So I can actually sit down and watch 2 episodes of Doctor Who back to back in the mornings, and then I've had my Doctor Who fix, so I don't really need to go home and basically rush to BBC One or BBC iPlayer and put on Doctor Who. So I can actually watch it before I go to work. So then, of course, because I've watched it, and then of course it gives me all day to think about what I'm going to say about the episode. So I know some people are really annoyed about this, but the more to the fact is, I think this might be good for Doctor Who, because we're at that age now where everything is now on streaming. And of course, like for Paramount Plus, for Star Trek, that streams like Star Trek Picard. We've got Star Trek Discovery Season 5 starting in a couple of weeks. And I think with us being in this new generation of streaming, I really think Doctor Who can really benefit. So basically it gets put on at midnight. So if basically you got work early in the morning and you need to get up to get ready, you can always watch Doctor Who as you get ready to go to work, like I will be doing. So that's one little thing I wanted to talk about. So of course it starts on Saturday the 11th of May over here in the UK at midnight, but it does basically go on to Disney Plus on the Friday the 10th of May at 10 o'clock on the evening. But don't forget though, we are 2 hours ahead of the rest of the country, out of the rest of the world. So really, our time zone is very different to the rest of the world's time zone. So obviously, we still get it a day early, but basically, we just get it 2 hours. But I kind of get like 2 at the same time as us. So really, when it's literally there 10 o'clock, it's midnight for us. So we still get it on the day, but they get to watch it on Disney Plus. But also it means it does be shown on BBC One just before Eurovision. Now, I absolutely do not like Eurovision. I cannot stand it. I cannot stand seeing... I really don't like stuff like X Factor or Britain's Got Talent. I never have done. So I don't normally watch Eurovision. But the fact that Doctor Who is going to be on earlier because of Eurovision, I don't really mind, because it's going on BBC iPlayer. So it's not a big deal for me. So I'm quite looking forward to going to work and being absolutely happy, because I've had my brand new Doctor Who fix by watching the episodes before I go to work at 9 o'clock. So that's one thing I want to talk about. And I don't get why people are so upset about it. Yeah, okay, it's got a new airtime. It's dropping at midnight. But it just means instead of you having to rush home from work, basically, if you work during the day and you need to get back before 6 or 5 or 6... you can literally come home, straight turn on your TV, and it's straight on BBC iPlayer without no fuss, which is something I'm absolutely quite looking forward to watching. So we know that the first 2 episodes are dropping, and episode 2 is more Beatles type heavy, so it is definitely going to be more music. And of course, the trailer was dropped as well. Well, a teaser trailer. Apparently, this Saturday we are getting a new trailer. So I am kind of looking forward to seeing what the new trailer is going to be like, but if it's just going to be like the same stuff we saw in the teaser trailer, I'm not too fussed. I'm really not too fussed. I am quite looking forward to seeing Ncuti Gatwa as the 15th Doctor again, as I absolutely do enjoy the Church on Ruby Road. I actually quite enjoyed the Christmas episode. Not many people did. I mean, I've seen so many people put complaints about it over social media, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I actually did quite enjoy the episode for what it is. It's not a bad episode. I actually think Doctor Who is starting to get good again. And to be honest with you, I watched it all the way through the Chibnall era, and I do think Doctor Who kind of suffered under the Chibnall era. And that is not just basically because of Jodie Whittaker. I really think some of the writing was very, very poor in the Whittaker era and in the later half of the Moffat era for Capaldi's run. So I do think for basically the last not 10 years, around about the 5-10 years of Doctor Who, that the writing had slowly dipped quite a lot. But I actually did quite enjoy the 60th anniversary more than I actually thought I was going to. So that's one thing I did enjoy about the 60th. I actually did quite enjoy the writing. I did enjoy seeing the new budget. And the Christmas episode itself was actually quite good. So it was good to have another Christmas episode. But Series 1, well, it's called Season 1. I'm going to call it Season 41, just so I can basically carry it all as one massive whole for Doctor Who. I am quite looking forward to it. And then, of course, the other piece of news is we got Steven Moffat coming back to write an episode. Well, I always thought Steven Moffat was going to come back with Russell T Davies, because back in the revival, at the beginning of the revival, Moffat did write a few episodes for Russell T Davies, like The Empty Child, The Doctor Dances, The Girl in the Fireplace, Blink, and I think he wrote Silence in the Library and Forest of the Dead for series 1 to 4, and then he took over as showrunner for series 5, 6 and 7, 8, 9 and 10. And some people really put Moffat down, but the thing is though, he stepped down back in 2016, 2017, he kind of stepped away, and he's kind of had since then to grow more as a writer, and now he's back. And I mean, I was a little bit worried about Russell T Davies coming back, considering what he did with the original Tennant, with the 10th Doctor, even with the whole lovey-dovey stuff, the romance stuff. But watching the 60th anniversary and the Church on Ruby Road, I'm not too worried. I'm not too fussed. I'm actually glad that Doctor Who's kind of going back to where it was back in the beginning of the revival. It's going back to top peak, and I really think that's going to happen with the whole streaming, like the whole streaming going on now, because we are in the world of streaming. I really think this does benefit Doctor Who quite a lot. I mean, if you're going to watch classic Doctor Who, I don't think it would work much as a streaming. But with a new era coming up, and of course with the new showrunner back as Russell T Davies, this is where Doctor Who is definitely going to get back up to its peak. So of course we got RTD, we got Moffat back. I'm hoping that if basically Russell T Davies decides to get Chris Chibnall back to write a few episodes, I think some people will be really hacked off with it, considering how Chibnall kind of writ the Whittaker era. But there again though, Chibnall did write a load of good episodes for the spin-off era of Torchwood, and of course he writ quite a few episodes in the revival, like in series 3 he writ 42, which is garbage, but I don't really care for 42. Then of course he writ the Silurian 2-parter, and of course I do have to give him credit because he did bring back the Silurians, and more recently he did bring back the Sea Devils, and of course now the Sea Devils are getting their own spin-off, which is currently at the stage of filming since the beginning of March. So I am quite happy that Moffat's coming back. If Chris Chibnall was to come back, I wouldn't be thrilled. I'd be more like, yeah, okay, let's see how he's going to write for underneath, Russell T Davies, because Russell T Davies is the man in charge. And I have seen quite a few people say, like, oh, does this mean when Russell T Davies leaves, because he does have a bit of a 5-year plan, like another plan that he will leave after season 4, do we go back to having Steven Moffat in control? Well, if Moffat does get back into control of Doctor Who, I think, considering how his first era went, I think he will probably revisit what he did wrong and then try and make Doctor Who more better for his point of view. So I do think that as well. But you know what, with basically Steven Moffat coming back, I'm not too generally fussed. I'm quite looking forward to seeing what they're going to bring. Hopefully we see the return of the Weeping Angels, and some of the stuff that Moffat did create is basically ideas, like say if we have the return of the Weeping Angels, if we have the return of Fashion Errata, which I really want to see Shooty Gatwa's Doctor come across the Fashion Errata. I really think that would be quite good. So I'm not really too worried like some people, I have seen some people state over social media, but I'm quite curious. I am really quite curious to see what Moffat's going to bring into his writing ability. And if basically Russell T Davies does decide to leave and it does go back to Steven Moffat, I'm hoping he does something a lot better than his original run. I mean, out of his original run, he's only got 2 strong series from his time as showrunner, and that is Series 5 and Series 10, where Series 6, 7, 8 and 9, they are okay and they're kind of not okay. It depends how people look at it. For me, I do enjoy the Capaldi era more than the Matt Smith era, but that's just because I think Capaldi really does take the ability of being the Doctor. He's like, for me to sit here and say, I really think Peter Capaldi is more like the Tom Baker. He generally is the Doctor. Like Tom Baker was generally the Doctor for all classic Doctor Who fans. I really consider Peter Capaldi to be like that. Like, he is the Doctor no matter what. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing what we are going to get through Steven Moffat. I'm happy about it being broadcast from midnight on BBC iPlayer, because it does mean instead of me having to rush home from work when I finish around about 6 or half 6 sometimes, I won't get back in time for Doctor Who. So I am quite happy that I get to watch it before I go to work. So I am quite happy about that. But anyway, let me know in the comments, what do you think of the new time slot for Doctor Who, about it being on BBC iPlayer from midnight? Let me know what you think of Steven Moffat coming back. Please do like, subscribe and share, and join me for more awesome Doctor Who content. Thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe and share, and join me for more awesome Doctor Who awesomeness.